Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the High School Sports Zone. I am your host, Jake Durant. Joining me now is Peter Curry. He's back after taking a week off. You went to New York City, Peter. How was that?
It was a lot of fun. I got to see a basketball game at Madison Square Garden. Went to New Jersey to see a hockey game. Got to see a slam dunk contest in Brooklyn, so that was a lot of fun. Sadly, I didn't get to see Zion Williams, but, you know, whatever.
Well, you got to see a basketball game, hockey game, but now it's back to football because we now just have 1 week left of the regular season now that Week 8 is officially in the books. We're going to take a look back at some of the action with our 3 and Out.
3 and Out.
We got to start the first down with our game of the week. The Negaunee Miners hosting the Houghton Gremlins. The Miners would jump out to an early lead and never look back. In the first quarter, Negaunee quarterback Jason Waterman takes the handoff, or he fakes the handoff, keeps it himself to open up the game with a 23-yard run to put the Miners ahead 7-0 later. Negaunee going to get some help from their special teams unit as Leo Helpe would break through and block the punt, allowing his brother Finn to pick up the ball for a scoop and score. That allowed Negaunee to shut out the Gremlins 35-0, making them winners of 6 straight in a row and clinching a playoff berth.
Oh, that was so great. I came through the hole. Coach Jay called block left. I came through the hole. I saw him bringing his foot up. I jumped up, it hit my arm. My brother Finn picked it up on the other side. He ran it in, scored the touchdown. Happiest I've felt all season.
I guess our resiliency. We came back, we fought, we scrapped as soon as we had. Showed some great leadership ability. Our juniors matured fast, you know, and hey, I give this team a lot of credit. They came back with a lot of heart and brought us back to where we are today.
Congrats to the Miners who are heading to the postseason. It's hard to believe that they started the season 0-2 and are now winners of 6 straight games. You just love to see it. So, Peter, we will see the Miners back in the postseason for the first time in 3 years. To start the season 0-2 and to be able to come back and rip off 6 straight wins, that's extremely impressive. Negaunee head coach Paul Jacobson, he talked about the moment they fell to 0-2 and how the media, such as ourselves, weren't really talking about them. They used that adversity to come together and become a more close team. You know, they've banded together behind really good leadership. Jason Waterman, the senior quarterback there, has been playing so good. He's doing a great job leading that team. Now, I remember the first show of the high school football season, I said I thought Negaunee would be the best team in the conference. Now, I'm not going to lie, I jumped off the bandwagon like most of us did, but it's really good to see the Miners back in the playoffs. Such a storied history there at Negaunee High School. It's a really great accomplishment, and shout out to those players and the coaching staff for not giving up and really pushing through that adversity.
Yeah, they didn't listen to us, and good for them for that, because they've, like you said, 6 in a row already. Trying to go undefeated is very hard, but if you think about it, since week 3, they've been undefeated, and it seems like they're going to continue to be going into the playoffs. So hopefully they're going to have a successful end of the year because they want to keep this momentum going into playoffs.
It definitely seems like they've now found their identity and that they've just been getting better on a week-to-week basis. So that's exactly where you want to be as you hit the postseason. You want to be peaking at exactly the right time. Well, let's go to Gladstone. The Braves hosting Marquette. The Redmen fighting for their playoff lives. Marquette driving in the third quarter up 17-0. Austin Riddle's going to find Isaac Johnson. Now he's going to fumble the ball, and the Braves, they're going to jump on it. So Gladstone, they have some life. They're in business. A few plays later, it's Ryan Baldovsky. He's going to hand the ball off to Cole Hansen. The ball's going to pop out, but it's going to fall in the end zone, and there is Connor McKenzie. He's going to fly in to save the day. It's ruled a fumble recovery in the end zone for the score. Marquette now leading 17-7, but Marquette, they are battle-tested. They would come back with the answer. Riddle's a nice pass, but even better catch there by Drew Weibel. And then the next play, it's Riddle rolling right. He's going to turn and quick toss back to Brady Wright. And Wright has nothing but space down the sidelines. He is gone. Marquette, they stay alive with a 37-14 win over the Gladstone Braves. Now, Peter, with a win over Kingsford this Friday, the Marquette Redmen, they have an opportunity to win the GNC Conference, and they might find themselves in the postseason as a wild card team. That would give them 5 wins. Now, the Flivers, they still have a lot to play for. They're sitting at 4-2 right now, and they'd love nothing more than to go to Marquette and deny the Redmen that GNC title. Kingsford, they're going to have something to prove. They just lost a big game to Menominee last week. It was a big loss there for Kingsford. That ended a 2-game win streak for the Flivers. Now, it's hard to gauge this Flivers team. They've played 4 teams from the state of Wisconsin this year and 1 team from Minnesota. In those games, they went 3-2, but they didn't play well against Escanaba, and they didn't play well against, or they lost to the Maroons by or excuse me, the Eskimos by a big margin. And then Menominee, they lost to another big loss there. So I just don't really see consistency there. Marquette, they've got those big wins at Eski against Menominee, and then they really play those TC teams very well. TC Central, the team that just dropped 60 points on Escanaba last week. And of course, St. Francis as well in the beginning of the season. And they also went to Petoskey and only lost by 5, and they played a strong Alpena team. They only lost that game by a field goal. So, I mean, this team, yeah, their record's 4-4, but you got to look at that schedule. It's a very tough schedule, and even in those losses, I mean, it was a close game decided by just a few plays.
I think you can only learn from losses, especially when you're going up against these very strong teams. And all these experiences, they're going to build up. We only have a couple of weeks left, truly. So I think it's their time to take all those lessons learned, really come together as a team and push forward, because if they're hungry enough, they can do it.
Yeah, and I don't really see a team as balanced as Marquette. Maybe Escanaba is one of those teams. And of course, you got Iron Mountain. They found a really good balance with running the ball and also passing the ball. But I don't think a team out there right now passes the ball as good as Marquette. I think they actually favor the pass, which is something you don't really see in the UP. And they got sophomore Austin Riddle. He's really able to sling it. They always seem to have really good weapons on the outside, no matter who they lose. They always seem to have 1 or 2 playmakers out there on the edges making plays. So I just really love watching this Redmond team, and I would love nothing more than to see Marquette in the postseason.
Definitely. We'll see what happens.
All right. We end our 3 and Out with our third down predictions. Peter, I'm kind of coming off the rails with my predictions. I picked Kingsford to beat Menominee last week, and well, I was incorrect. Surprise, surprise. This week, I'm going to say Gwynn over Munising. Both teams without a win this season. One team's going to have to get a win this week. The other team will finish the season without a win. But I just feel like Gwynn, they have the talent, they have the playmakers. And I feel like they've just hurt themselves in a lot of these games. They lost a couple games in overtime, untimely penalties, lack of focus. And right now I just feel like the Gwynn Model Towners, they're just a better team on paper than the Munising Mustangs. So I just feel like they're going to get the win on Friday.
I think that's smart. They're definitely the team that I've always thought were going to win. I've always guessed them. And then in terms of my predictions, I don't think I've picked this team this year, mainly because I see them going deep, and I will discuss that a little later. But I'm going to be taking Escanaba over downstate visitor Swartz Creek. This will be a good test for them because it allows Eski a little bit of a taste of downstate teams who they plays, their opponents they may see later on in the playoffs. I think Ethan Silverstone has been a complete dog this year. He's been a success week in, week out. It seems that he won't be slowing down anytime soon because it is his senior year. I truly think he wants to bring a state title back to Escanaba for the first time since the 80s. So I think he is ready to carry them there.
So later in the show, we're going to reveal where we're going to be headed for our final game of the week of the regular season. But first, we're going to jump back aboard the playoff train and discuss the postseason outlook as we head into week 9 of the season.